Richard's in Chelmsford. Richard, what would you like to say?
Yeah, hello, James. Been looking forward to this.
Go on, mate.
Yeah. Basically, I don't think it's about the curtsy itself.
What isn't?
I think it. Well, that was your conversation, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
about,
what isn't about the
conversation.
curtsy? The anger and the outrage.
Yeah, well, her presentation of what she's saying.
Of the
I don't
curtsy.
think it's about the curtsy
Right.
itself.
No.
I think it's about the sort of character that she is.
Yeah.
Which seems obviously quite vindictive.
Right.
Because I think it's evident that she had split up with a few partners in the past.
God, really?
And sent a ring in the post, just dropped her boyfriend. I think he was a restaurateur or something,
God.
and he was going to further her career.
Right. Where did you learn this?
This morning.
No, but where? Where did the information come from?
Oh, Talk Radio, your favourite.
What?
Yeah, I know you're laughing, James. Yeah, I know you would, because you think you're the bee's knees, aren't you, mate?
Richard, you were looking forward to this. Let's not let it fall apart quite so early.
No, I am looking forward to
this.
So
you heard on a radio station that she once sent a ring to an ex, and now you know what her character really is.
No, you can.
But
see
why
it.
didn't you hear on this radio? No, you carry on.
Yourself?
You crack on, mate.
Don't you see it yourself? I mean, I don't actually think that you believe what you're saying. I think you're a provocateur, and that's the whole basis of your show, isn't it?
And now we're talking about me.
But it's always about you, isn't it?
No, we're talking about Meghan Markle and your insights into her character gleaned from listening to a different radio station an hour ago.
Yeah, they had Richard Tice on earlier. You know, the one that you had out in Keckner's.
Yes, I told him to
That's
F
right,
off.
yeah.
Why are we talking about that now, Richard?
No, I'm just sort of saying that because you asked me where I heard it. That's all.
But you'd already told me.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Richard? Really? Do you think? Yeah.
But how do you mean?
Well, you've got on the radio. You said you were really looking forward to it, and
well, I am because
but here you are. What are you
just
telling me,
bullied the poor
Richard?
girl on radio.
What do you think you're telling me?
You just bullied a poor girl on the radio. She's speaking a lot of sense, and you're just trying to humiliate her.
Okay, I mean that's a criticism that I have now heard. But why are you here?
I am here because I'm telling you I think she's a very vindictive character.
Based on what?
I know people.
Yeah, go on.
I've met people that have gone out with partners that think they're the bee's knees,
right.
And when the attention doesn't come their way, they think they're queen bee. I've been out with women like that myself. And,
right, you've been out with women like Meghan Markle, Richard.
Obviously, they haven't been on the Suits. Oh God! I'm just saying that character. They think they're high maintenance types,
right?
And attention seeking.
Okay, why are you giving her so much attention?
Why am I giving her so much attention? I've just brought it up because that's your subject, and it's this whole big thing. This is, I'm sort of in relation to what the last lady said. There's people that won't be able to afford to heat their homes and everything, and everybody's making a big thing about.
Why have you never rung me about them?
Huh?
Why have you never rung me about them? We were talking about them yesterday.
Yeah, but you don't care about food banks.
We were talking about them yesterday. Why didn't you ring me then?
I've tried to ring you several times.
Everyone's talking about how they've tried to talk about food banks.
I tried to ring you last week, but
okay.
I tried to ring you last week. But you don't care about the people that you pretend you're caring about.
Well, that's another criticism that you have now made.
It's the truth.
Okay.
You're a liar and a bully.
Here we are.
I know you're a liar.
Yeah. And back to Meghan Markle.
There's evidence out there.
Back to Meghan Markle.
I've just told you.
You told. Okay.
So what's your answer, James? What's your answer? What's your clever comeback?
I don't need a clever comeback, Richard.
Come on.
No, I don't. I don't need a clever comeback. I only need a clever comeback if somebody hasn't really done my job for me by humiliating themselves live on the radio, mate.
But you humiliate yourself on the radio every day because you just sort of.
You know what you just said. You just did. I know you are, but what am I?
You're such a child. Grow up.
Anything else?
I know you've got issues, James. But,
Yeah,
that's why you bully people. You know. I'm sure you're a really lovely fella, really, but you just need to be nicer to people.
When you came on air and said, I've really been looking forward...
I've been looking forward to it a long time.
What were you looking forward to, mate?
To basically saying that I think you're a liar.
Okay.
Kebab Awards.
Pardon?
The Kebab Awards, hello? You're doing your listeners a very bad disservice, aren't you? Because you're not really telling them the truth, aren't you?
About the Kebab Awards?
Yeah. The mask business. Is it
the mask business at the Kebab Awards?
Yeah, you said it was impossible to eat a kebab wearing a mask while eating a kebab.
I stand by that. I stand by that, Richard.
All the evidence that is on there, you're not eating a kebab at the time, and you're having your photos taken, not wearing a mask.
There was no mask. There was no mask mandate at the Kebab Awards, mate.
No, yes, there was.
No, there wasn't. No, there wasn't.
Yes, there was.
Okay. This is what you were looking for. When was that, incidentally?
I was looking forward to it.
When was that?
Huh?
When was that?
When?
Yeah.
What, the Kebab Awards?
Yeah.
Last year, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I think it might have been the year before.
No, it was 2021. I'll have to look at that.
Okay.
But I'm sure it was 2021.
And this is what you were really looking forward to doing today?
Oh, yeah, I've been looking forward to it a long time because I think you're a bully and a liar.
Okay. I wish you well, Richard. I really do. Maybe
I wish you well.
Try and spend a little bit less time hating and a little bit more time looking after yourself.
No, I don't like people being bullies, that's all.
Well, I'm not bullying you, Richard. I'm listening to you.
No, you're not bullying me. You won't bully me, but you bully the last lady. You bully your listeners every day, don't you? You patronise them.
How do you feel about the people who bully Meghan?
How do I feel about the people that bully Meghan? I don't like them.
Oh, okay. But I don't like them. But you've rang in to assassinate her character because she reminds you of your ex.
I'm not. You're twisting my words.
I'm really not, mate. There's a tape.
I'm not your mate.
See, this is what people.
Not your mate.
Okay.
I'm not your mate.
Okay, Richard. I'm not twisting. I'm not twisting your words, Richard. Well, you seem to think you know me quite well. You've been offering up a fairly detailed analysis of my character. I would suggest that you think you do know me quite well.
I don't know you.
Well, then, where did all these accusations come from?
You come across as a liar.
Okay. But, what did you think was going to happen?
I remember seeing you on morning programmes on Sunday.
Yes.
On Sundays back in the day, and
yes.
I just thought, no. My dad said, "Oh, that James character, he doesn't come across as a very nice fella."
Oh. What did you think was going to happen, Richard? Seriously, did you think I was going to get cross, or that you were going to get the better of me, or that? I mean, what did you think when you were sitting there? Wait, just let me ask this because I'm genuinely interested, and maybe your dad could help as well. But when I didn't, I just said maybe your dad could help as well. When you were sitting there waiting to come on, thinking, right, I'm going to show him, and what did you just in your mind? You must have had a vague idea of what was going to happen. What did you think was going to happen, Richard?
I just want you to be a bit nicer to your listeners.
And you thought the way to achieve that was by ringing me up and trying to insult me repeatedly.
But you
so what did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? I just want to know, seriously, because then maybe next time I could help you, and it would happen. Did you think you were going to beat me in an argument, or that you were going to get? What did you think? What then, Richard?
No, nothing in particular at all. Really.
But what were you looking forward to?
I was looking forward to just telling you a few home truths.
Okay, and how are you feeling now?
Yeah, I feel all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So we'll do it again.
A bit like how you feel when you get things off your chest, I suppose, like to your listeners every day.
Right.
I bet you've bolstered your chest down, and you know.
Yeah, all of that, Richard.
Oh yeah. Oh, you do. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're a decent guy, really.
No, but you were sure I'm not 2 minutes ago.
Huh? But I think it's all a facade. I think you're. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't buy the the nonsense that you spout.
You all right, mate?
Are you all right? I mean, did therapy work out for you?
Very well. I wrote about it in my last book.
It worked out for you, did it?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't, did it? It didn't.
It seems like such a good idea on Twitter, doesn't it? Yeah.
Who said anything about Twitter?
Welcome back to Harry and Meghan TV, where we cut through the noise and bring clarity to the chaos. And today's moment comes straight from the brilliant mind of James O'Brien, who once again delivered a masterclass in exposing the absurdity of Meghan Markle detractors. The entire exchange played out like a slow-motion unravelling, with James using calm logic and even strategic silence to let the caller bury himself deeper and deeper, almost forcing him to confront the emptiness of his own arguments as he claimed with full confidence that he knew Meghan's character because, wait for it, he heard on another radio show that she returned a ring after a breakup. A point so laughably weak it would be comedic if it weren't a real reflection of how far logic has fallen. James stayed steady, rational, almost parental as the caller, clearly overwhelmed by bitterness, inadequacy, and a desperate need to cling to second-hand gossip. Kept hopping from one hole to another, shifting excuses like sand slipping through fingers, proving exactly what so many of us see daily. That Meghan haters often can't articulate a single coherent reason for their hostility, instead exposing their own fears, insecurities, and personal failings while projecting them onto a woman they've never met. The caller even tried to accuse James of being childish. Yet the tone was unmistakably like a disappointed parent guiding a confused child through basic comprehension. And when James gently asked, "Why are you giving her so much attention?" you could hear the caller's entire argument collapse on itself as he stumbled, stuttered, and slowly imploded under the weight of his own contradictions. It was both embarrassing and frightening, a stark reminder that thousands of such men roam this country, harbouring bitterness, inadequacy, and resentment that festers into online hate and bullying that puts lives at risk. Yet James handled it with grace, allowing listeners to witness in real time how prejudice crumbles when confronted with patience and reason, and honestly, it was a treat to hear live. From nobody to unintentional comedy legend, the caller showcased a Brexit-level intellect while believing he was winning, proving once again why voices like James O'Brien remain essential in today's wild, chaotic media landscape. Radio Clash. James O'Brien exposes toxic anti-Meghan rhetoric. In a quintessential display of razor-sharp radio journalism, James O'Brien masterfully dismantled a caller's irrational and prejudiced critique of Meghan Markle, revealing the deep-seated biases and intellectual bankruptcy underlying much of the public discourse surrounding the Duchess of Sussex. By methodically challenging the caller's flimsy arguments and exposing the hollow nature of his claims, O'Brien demonstrated his unparalleled skill at dissecting emotional rhetoric with calm, logical interrogation. The interaction laid bare the disturbing trend of personal attacks masquerading as legitimate criticism, highlighting how individuals project their personal frustrations and unresolved emotional issues onto public figures like Meghan, creating a toxic narrative that says far more about the accuser's psychological landscape than about the subject of their criticism. Unravelling the baseless criticism, a caller's misguided vendetta against Meghan Markle. The caller's attempt to discredit Meghan Markle reveals a disturbing pattern of shallow reasoning and personal bias. Claiming insider knowledge gleaned from a random radio show, he latched onto a trivial anecdote about a returned engagement ring as if it were damning evidence of her character. His flawed logic betrays a deeper issue, a fundamental lack of comprehension and a willingness to condemn someone based on fragmented second-hand information. This brand of casual character assassination speaks volumes about the caller's own insecurities, transforming a potential critique into nothing more than a transparent display of misplaced anger and misunderstanding. The Art of Rational Radio. James O'Brien's masterful deconstruction. In his characteristic style, James O'Brien expertly navigates the treacherous waters of irrational caller arguments by employing a devastatingly effective technique of strategic silence. When confronted with a caller's emotionally charged and poorly substantiated critique of Meghan Markle, O'Brien remains coolly composed, using calculated pauses that create an uncomfortable atmospheric pressure, compelling the caller to continue talking and inadvertently expose the hollowness of their own arguments. By calmly requesting the caller to explain the root of their obsessive focus on Meghan, a seemingly simple yet profoundly disarming question, O'Brien strips away the veneer of pseudo-justification, forcing the caller to confront the underlying irrationality of their stance. The radio host's approach is less about winning an argument and more about gently but firmly revealing the logical inconsistencies and potential personal biases that drive such unfounded criticisms. In a spectacular display of cognitive dissonance, the caller began to unravel the moment James posed his probing question, revealing a Brexit-level intellectual prowess that would make even the most ardent conspiracy theorist cringe. Despite the painfully embarrassing unravelling of his argument, the caller maintained an almost comical sense of self-assurance, seemingly oblivious to the fact that he was systematically dismantling his own credibility with each stammering response. His misplaced confidence became a masterclass in delusion as he continued to double down on his incoherent perspectives, completely unaware of the intellectual quicksand into which he was rapidly sinking. The landscape of Meghan hatred is a chilling tableau of psychological dysfunction, where bitterness and profound feelings of inadequacy congeal into a grotesque public performance. These individuals, driven by a toxic cocktail of resentment and unresolved personal insecurities, transform their inner emptiness into vitriolic attacks that reveal far more about their own fractured psyches than about the target of their obsession. Their behaviour is simultaneously laughable and deeply concerning. A manifestation of small-minded individuals desperately seeking relevance through malicious commentary, their every utterance betraying a fundamental lack of self-awareness that would be almost comical if it weren't so potentially harmful. The caller's embarrassing display is a perfect microcosm of this broader phenomenon. A person so consumed by personal inadequacies that they project their own failures onto a public figure, creating an elaborate narrative of imagined slights and manufactured grievances that speaks volumes about their own unresolved emotional landscape. Transforming radio. The James O'Brien phenomenon. James O'Brien possesses an extraordinary talent for dismantling caller arguments with surgical precision, effortlessly transitioning from a relatively unknown radio host to a legendary provocateur in mere minutes. His remarkable skill lies not just in challenging callers, but in doing so with the measured tone of a disappointed parent, systematically exposing logical fallacies and underlying prejudices. Where lesser hosts might become confrontational, O'Brien maintains a calm, almost paternal demeanour that forces callers to confront the weaknesses in their own reasoning, turning each interaction into a masterclass of radio communication that simultaneously educates and entertains his audience. The caller's spectacular self-destruction. The caller's profound lack of comprehension becomes painfully evident as he bumbles through his argument, seemingly oblivious to the embarrassing spectacle he's creating. With each utterance, he inadvertently exposes not just his own intellectual limitations, but a remarkable ability to dig himself deeper into a hole of illogical reasoning. His statements reveal a complete disconnection from rational thought, demonstrating a level of cognitive dissonance that would be comical if it weren't so tragically representative of a certain strain of public discourse. The more he speaks, the more apparent it becomes that he has absolutely no understanding of how completely he is undermining his own position, blissfully unaware of the intellectual quicksand he's sinking into with each desperate attempt to justify his baseless opinions. The toxic undercurrent of social hatred. If the calibre of public discourse has devolved to the point where personal grievances and unsubstantiated claims are deemed acceptable justification for vilifying an individual, then our society is undeniably in a profoundly sorry state. The relentless bullying and calculated attacks on Meghan Markle's life are not merely distasteful gossip, but represent a genuine and serious risk to her personal safety and well-being, revealing a deeply troubling societal trend where mob mentality and unfounded prejudice can potentially escalate into dangerous targeted harassment that threatens an individual's fundamental right to exist without constant persecution. Radio Warfare, James O'Brien's masterclass in caller deconstruction. The caller's performance was a spectacular display of unintentional self-destruction, turning James O'Brien's radio show into an impromptu psychological excavation. For listeners, it was truly an absolute treat to witness live. A verbal spectacle where the caller demonstrated a remarkable talent for not merely digging himself deeper into an existing conversational hole, but spectacularly pivoting to create an entirely fresh pit of illogical reasoning. Each moment was like watching a comedic train wreck in slow motion, where the caller's attempts to defend his position only served to further highlight the absurdity of his initial stance, much to the fascination of those tuning in.